my scrappy friends, welcome to my channel. I hope that you guys had a very happy holidays and a great new year. So today I thought I would get on real quick, or maybe not so quick. So you might want to get some coffee or tea or water if you're being healthy like me. And maybe a biscuit or cookie, depending where you live and what you call it. And just enjoy, or your lunch, that would work too. And enjoy the inspiration that I am about to bring. So anyway, um, all serious or all funniness aside, let's be serious for a minute here. So I wanted to get on, like I was saying, I wanted to get on so that you guys could get an idea of what I've been thinking about for my channel this year. Like many other scrappy YouTubers, I've been thinking about just the plans that I have for this year. And actually, I've probably been thinking about a lot of this for the past 6 months or so. I think some of it is just stuff that, just in general, a lot of us who do YouTube channels are always constantly thinking about ways that we can make our channels better and all that good stuff. I am sorry if you get a big glare of sun on me. It's a very sunny today. It's amazingly, wonderfully warm in my scrap room. Well, because I have a space heater, but the sun helps. And it's a gorgeous day out. I bet if I drove down the street, I would be able to see Mount Rainier in all its gloriousness. It makes up for the fact that it's kind of cold outside. I don't know what the temperature is today. I guess this is horrible of me, right? I try not to do this, look on my phone. But just for fun's sake, let's see what the temperature is. Not the clock. I need the weather. Oh, it is a nice sunny 35. That's not bad at all, actually. Probably because it's sunny. It actually has been really nice the past few days. So I wish that I was not so busy so I could actually scrap and get some nice daytime stuff. But anyway, that's just not possible. We've been doing school this week, and we started on Monday as opposed to the school in our area that did not. So I didn't realize I started on the 4th. Oh well. Anyway, so yes. So first, let's talk about some of the things that I have in my own life that is personal that makes it harder to be a YouTuber. So I homeschool my kids. I have 3 of them. All 3 of them are in school this year. It's fun, but it causes me to be really busy. This year especially so because my middle child is not the easiest homeschooler. She just gets bored really easily. I don't blame her, but it makes my job a little bit harder because I have to keep reminding her and helping her. And so just finding ways to keep school fun means that we have to be a lot more interactive, which is good because they need that, because they would get that at school anyway. So, but I know that even because we homeschool, finding groups and things in our area that we can do that the kids can join in on helps, and that just keeps us busier. So it's one of the trade-offs, right? But otherwise, I mean, every kid has stuff, right? Even if you're not homeschooled, you would have activities after school or whatever that would keep a mom busy. So also, I have a son who has type 1 diabetes. He was diagnosed this summer. So yay for me for learning a whole new medical issue. If cancer was not enough. Except for this one's forever. Unless they come up with a cure. So let's hope for that. Because let me tell you, it is not fun giving your 5-year-old son shots when he tells you, I just don't want to get a shot today, Mom. And I feel really bad, but there's nothing I can do because I don't want him dead. So, or in a coma, or a lot of other things. So, or really, really sick. So anyway, it's a little deep, isn't it? I'm sorry. I'm honestly blunt about some of this stuff, and I joke around, and I'm joking, but I'm not really joking. In all seriousness, if he didn't get insulin shots, it would take a little while, but it can definitely cause death. So, it's serious, obviously, like many illnesses and diseases, but thanks to modern medicine, it does not need to be. So anyway, okay. So personal stuff, yes. So my son has diabetes, and that takes up a lot of my time. I was just thinking about this the other day, and man, I didn't realize like it just takes up a lot more of my time because every meal, you know, there's a lot of things that go into. You just always have to think about it. You kind of can't not think about it because if his blood sugar starts going low, I got to make sure he eats before he passes out. Or if he's high, I got to make sure that I'm keeping him low or whatever. So making sure meals have less carbs in it is definitely very interesting and something quite new to us. Like I said, we did the cancer thing with my daughter. And yeah, it was rough for some parts of it. Some of it wasn't too bad as far as everything just kind of becomes normal except for the chemo that you give them. It's just part of it. But, you know, except for their off days or whatever, for the most part, things are a lot different. It's not quite the same. So, yeah. But anyway, so that's a big part of my life right now. And it has to be. There's like no other choice. So anyway, I'm okay with it. It sucks, but it is what it is, right? So I can use it, right, to get more creative and all that good stuff. But anyway, so that stuff takes up a lot of my time. On top of this, having a husband who's in the military, so he does, so his schedule is not always the same. Um, there's been times where his schedule has been really easy, and here it's not. So it's okay. It's just the way it is. And so that kind of means that personally, we have to make choices as a family. That means that I have less time in my scrap room. I know we've been this year wanting to make a lot of changes just in general. So we're going to have one day a week where we are not really on or we're taking a day where we're not on stuff. And mostly it'll probably be in the evenings just because we might have to use some stuff for like school or whatever or whatnot, or if he's at work. But that just means that we're hanging out together, which is good. It brings good quality time, and it means lots of photos, right? So these give our opportunities. So, and this is one of the things that I've been kind of just in general fighting and battling is this, you know, I have less time to create, but then again, I have more times for documenting the things that are a part of our life. So it's kind of this war of figuring out how to balance it and be okay with the amount of time that I don't have in my scrap room. And I think this is similar for many, many women or crafters. I guess it just doesn't have to be women, but, you know, many of us are busy, you have jobs, you know, go to school on top of that. There's lots of other things that kind of take precedence in our life over our scrappy lives. And as much as we don't, you know, we want to sit and say, oh, well, I'm just going to scrap whenever I want. And there are times where I do that. There are times where my sink is full of dishes and my floor needs to be vacuumed, and I have 3 loads of laundry that I need to fold, but instead I'm doing a face-to-face video. No, actually, my sink is not full of dirty dishes, but I do have 3 loads of laundry that I need to fold. It's, you know, so I just kind of take every day as it is. So with that said, for my channel, this is what it means for my channel. I am only going to be focusing on 2 series unless later on in the year I decide to add some more depending on how things go. So I think that I just set too much stuff for myself this past year once we moved, and I didn't realize that it was gonna be as difficult, and you know, it is what it is, right? So I'm okay with that. I'd rather have 2 series that I post every day or every time, and I do this, and it really gets And you know that those 2 days I'm going to be there, and then I can add stuff to it. Also, I do stuff on the Crafty Maven besides my own channel, so that, you know, if you don't find me here, you might find me over there. I've been trying to do stuff once a week over there because I'm the creator of the Crafty Maven, which I'll get to later. But, so yeah, I've been trying to be consistent over there, and I want to be consistent here. So I'm going to do my double vision series, which is the double page layout series that I was doing. I want to get back into doing that. I have a lot of ideas, and I really enjoyed it. I wasn't sure if I was, not that I wouldn't like it, but, you know, I didn't know how well it would go. And so I'm hoping to get back into that in a couple of weeks. I want to get ahead of the game. I have some stuff ahead of the game already that I've been working on, but so I think it's going to take a couple of weeks to get everything. So by the end of January, everything should be flowing consistently. And that's my goal, unless something happens. And then it happens. And then the other series that I'm going to be doing is For the Love of Homemade Kits. I do this with a couple of other ladies from the YouTube community. I know Crafty Megan, Maggie, Sarah Scratz has been joining in, Christina, Felicia. I think that's it. So we've been working on it for a while. Well, some of the ladies joined in later, and then, but it was me and Megan who started it. And I love it. I love that everybody else is enjoying it. So I hope that we can continue doing that. I think I want to switch, maybe we can switch some things up to make it a little bit more fun just this year, just for us. Because that's the only thing about that series is that it's the same. And so sometimes I get kind of bored. So, and I've been really busy lately. And so that was one of the first things that I just kind of cut out. But I really want to get back into doing it because I like it. And I think that you guys will enjoy it too. So we have that. Okay. So those are the series that I want to do. And then on top of that, I do stuff over for the Spiegel Mom Scraps for the design team over there. So if I don't have a layout or a video, I might have a layout blog. I know I've been just in the process of blogging more. Some weeks are better than other weeks. Yeah. So that is my hope to continue doing that. I did amazing last year. I actually, when I go back through and I look at all the posts that I did, okay, maybe it's not as many as I would have liked, but I did blog. And so that was the goal for me for last year. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah. So one thing I wanted to get back to talking to you. So I mentioned the Crafty Maven. If many of you don't know, I might have just said this like 2 seconds ago. This is the second time I'm recording this, so please bear with me. If I repeat myself like 3 times during this video. Yeah. I am the creator of the Crafty Maven Getaway. I started it not quite 2 years ago. 2 years in the fall, July. 2 years in July. July 5th, 4th, 5th, 5th, 5th. Anybody who was a part of the original team, I think it was the 5th. Anyway, it's been like 2 years almost. So, but I had been thinking about it for like almost a year before I started it. So anyway, so I really, you know, it's a great brainchild thing that came to be and it's amazing, but I want to make it more amazing because this past year with moving and everything, I just haven't been able to spend the time to do as much as I would have liked. I know last year we tried to do the throwback to 2Ps, which turned out really great. We had Lilith Eccles as our guest designer, and that was amazing having her, and she was so amazing about it because like her back was all funky and she did a layout. Oh my gosh, I love her to pieces because she did that. So yeah, and now she's starting to do more stuff in the community and it's really fun to see that. So maybe we can do another throwback this year. It's not going to be the same time. Maybe, I don't know when we're going to do it. We have to talk about when it's possible. But I would like to do another throwback because that is the whole reason why I started the Crafty Maven, because we had the Two Keys YouTube channel, and you could watch something every day and be inspired. And of course, the ladies on there were amazing. The ladies that we have are amazing, just in a different caliber. So I am happy that we get to provide different styles, which is something that I was really passionate about when I started it, and I still am when I look for a team. I'm looking for people who have different styles. I don't want just one style because I want it to appeal to a really broad. Actually, when we first started, I really wanted to have a lot of cards, a lot of art journaling, and we've kind of not been able to do as much as I would have liked, but it is what it is. So maybe at some point we'll have some really great card makers do some stuff and some other projects, but you know, for now it is what it is, and I'm okay with that. So to say more about that, so this year I'm going to be focusing quite a bit more on the Crafty Maven. I'm only on one design team this year. So, the Spiegel Mom Scraps design team, I love it. I've actually been enjoying it immensely, like a lot. Not that I didn't think I wasn't going to, but I love it. I love Jody. I love all the ladies who are a part of it. It really makes me have to stretch for things, which is really good. So I love being a part of her team. But because I'm only on one team, it does give me more room to be able to do stuff elsewhere for stuff. So as much as I would love to be on another design team, like Kit Club or something, hint, hint to all the people who have clubs. Oh gosh, that's just really corny. I'm sorry. Anyway, maybe one day I'll have my own Kit Club. I've thought about that, but I don't know. It's kind of a lot. I'm not sure if I want to. I don't know. I've thought about it though for the Crafty Maven. That's not where we're going right now though. So anyway, so doing more this year. We're going to have more. So one of the things that we are doing in January, at the end of January, the 27th through the 29th, depending on how many challenges we have, we're going to have an online crop. And so I hope you guys come and join us. We're going to do it in the Facebook group for the Crafty Maven, link below. And you can join in if you are interested in hosting a challenge. There's still time to come over and message me and let me know that you want to be a part of a doing a challenge. It's really fun. You don't have to be a YouTuber to do it. So if you are, that's great too. I'm just hoping that we can just have some fun. I know we've done them in the past, and I've been a part of a lot of other crops, online crops, and they always are just lots of fun. And it's been a while since we've had some, so I don't know. I think Paper Issues had the last one. But anyway, also in February, we're going to be doing a collab with Sketches in Time. I'm really excited about this. They're going to be using our mood board. We're going to be using their sketch. I think it's just one. I have to look about that. But anyway, so we're going to be working with them, and I'm super excited, and I'm hoping that we can do some more collabs. Maybe we can get like a cut shop machine, cut shop, or something, or I don't know, somewhere else. So if you are a part of a group that would like to do a collab with the Crafty Maven, please let me know, because we are totally interested in doing some really awesome collabs this year. I think that it'll be something fun and different for you guys who watch the channel and support us. So we just want to inspire you. So I'm just trying to find ways that we can do things that are, you know, extra inspiring. So also with that, so when we started doing, I want to say one of the Victoria Marie group, online crops in her group. I'm not sure if it was the last one or the one before that. We talked about maybe trying to do Google Hangouts or something. And so I definitely I said I was wanting to do it. And it's just been really crazy. And now I'm saying, no, I need to schedule it. So, sorry for the loud noise. So that is going to be in my planner. So my idea is to do it every fourth Friday or Saturday of the month. I think that probably will work the best for me, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so that's my idea, is every fourth Friday or Saturday, and we'll work out the details. Obviously, this month we're doing the crop, but I think after that I want to keep doing that and just have a few hours where we get together online on Google Hangouts via the link that I'll provide in our group. So once again, you probably want to go to the Crafty Maven Getaway Facebook group. I know it's another group, but so I really want, I think this year I want to try to make the group a little bit better, more for inspiration type ideas. So we'll see how that works. Okay, so we have that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about were just some things that I have planned for me that I wanted to do. So last year I did one little word, and I didn't do too good doing the album. I don't know. I thought about my word a lot, though. Does that count? So this year I picked another word. I am not doing the class, however, because I am on a spending freeze this year, or at least for a while. I have a ton of stash, and I'll probably just buy a few things here and there throughout the year. But last year I bought a ton of stuff. I mean, guys, I bought so much stuff. Like, now that I'm not buying stuff, I realized just how much stuff I was buying. Like, I was spending probably a good almost $100 a month, which was my budget, but $100 a month-ish for stuff a month. That's a lot. So I did use a lot, but I still have tons of stuff. So this year, my word is focus. And I'm hoping to focus on family, focus on lots of different things, focus on scrapbooking, and actually being focused while I do it, because that is one of my biggest things that I've done this year, or this past year, that I really hate, is that I just scroll. I think we're all in this place. Social media has like completely blown up, and a lot of it is because this industry is so social media grounded. Like, we need social media, right? We need it. We love it. That's where we get all our inspiration. But we got to share our inspiration. And for us who are more in the industry or more a part of the community, gives up a lot more. And so then you just end up scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and it could be hours. Or just going back and forth between stupid apps. Like, come on. Like, how much changed since the last 5 minutes since I checked? Like, nothing, really, right? So it just is wasting my time. And I think for me, it's been, with all of this other stuff that has come on in my life this year, with that, when I go and sit down, my brain is like ADD. Like, I can't stand it. So focus is my word this year. I need to focus. I need to focus. And I have stuff I want to do. So speaking of that, so this year I'm going to go back and do Project Life. I'm not going to like redo the year. Well, I could, but I don't foresee that. So in the summer, I was very much inspired by Elizabeth, and she was talking about Project Life and how some things that she's been doing to keep up with it and to not feel bad that she didn't do it. And I was watching it just because, you know, I love her channel. But anyway, it really got me thinking, and especially since we've moved, I've looked through a lot of my older albums, and there's one in particular that I did from a couple of years ago where actually, part of the reason why I have so much is because me and Kelly O, Froggy251, we did a collab together to help each other work on Project Life. And so it was a super fun collab that I did with her. I mean, oh, that was super fun. I really like doing that. I actually kind of miss it. But and we did a lot of mixed media type stuff, which ended up being really fun. But so we did Project Life together, and we encouraged each other to get it done. And now when I look back at that album and I see that section of time where we worked together, it is so amazing. And I tried to keep up on it, and I did a little bit more after that. But then it just got to this point where I made Project Life really crazy, because this is what we do as scrapbookers, right? We just overdo it. So I stopped, and I was like, it's just really stressful. So this year, my focus is to make it not stressful. So I'm going to try to do more of an Allie Edwards approach, where I keep it really simple. I'm going to try to pick like 5 or so pictures to just slap in for our week, because we homeschool and we do a lot of the same stuff every week. I don't want to overbore it with like pictures that I don't need to include, but I do think that it's fun to kind of see what the kids were doing. And like I said, when I look back at that period of time, we were homeschooling then too, and to just see all these things, and I was taking so much more photos as far as just like of everything else, that I think I want to get back into that. So, and I really like the way that it looks in the album. It just really just like, it fills in these gaps. It's that storyteller of our lives part that you don't see just by doing, even though I do lay out about lots of different things that not everybody does. And I know this. There still are gaps, and I think that Project Life can fill that. And I think if I can keep it really simple, I would love to be a part of a Project Life kit club, like maybe Gossamer Blue or something. I really love their Project Life type kits. I was looking around, but I just don't know if I can afford it right now. So that's the one nice thing about being a part of a kit club for something like Project Life. You get all your stuff. That's the stuff that you use. Citrus Twist always has sketches. I think that that's a good idea. So I think I'm going to implement some different things. I mean, for now, I'll probably just use my stash. I mean, I have a ton of Project Life cards. Why can't I use those? Because they're old, that's why. Anyway, but I'm going to keep it simple and hope that maybe that can help. And just be okay that it's not like really crazy. And, you know, because I think part of it is just having like this little chunk of something that tells our story more. Actually, if I could, I would take Allie Edwards, her Project Life class. She has one. I don't know if it's open all the time, or if she just does it like every whatever, once a year or twice a year. I don't know. Once a year probably. If I have the chance, I want to take that, because I think that would help me be able to do it more her style, just so that I'm out of my own brain. Because sometimes that's the nice thing about classes, is that you take someone else's perspective and you draw from it, so that you're not just all in your head. Because I get all in my head, and I'm like, oh, all these fun things that I can add to my page, and next thing I know, I spent 3 days working on a Project Life spread, and I don't need to do that. I don't have the time to do that. So anyway, Project Life. I'm going to finish my D&D. I'm going to be getting my picture soon. So I'm going to be finishing that. I'll share. I probably won't tape all of the process. I might do some, just because I think I want to do some for Spiegel Mom scraps and stuff. But I think that I might be even the Crafty Maven, I can use that. And I know a lot of people like to see the December daily stuff. I still have quite a bit to do, because once my parents got here, my parents came for Christmas. So if you guys didn't see me around, my parents came for Christmas, and I haven't seen them, and they haven't seen my kids in years. So for me, I spent this whole Christmas season basically just very little fingerprints in social media. It was really weird. I missed it, but it was nice because I got to spend time with my family, and I really needed to do that because we had the time to spend. So I spent a lot of that, and so I didn't do any scrapbooking. I didn't do anything while they were here, which was kind of crazy, but how it is, right? It's holidays. So one of the things that I also want to do is do more blogging. I did a really good job last year. I want to do more, maybe more face-to-face videos I'd like to do. I know I used to do them a lot, and this past year. I did some while we were like moving and stuff, though I was really bad. And I know part of the reason I just feel really weird doing it. And to tell you the truth, not everyone in my family appreciates the camera. My oldest daughter is really bad. She doesn't really like her picture taken very often, and my husband doesn't like it, and my dog does like being on camera. She like attacks me, well, in a good way. Actually, I see her at the door right now. You should see her. She looks so sad. She's outside. She's like, "What me, mommy?" Anyway, she's not really a small puppy anymore. I don't know if you can see her. There she is. Anyway, okay. So let's finish this up because I'm almost done. I know. I talked for half an hour. I can't help it. So the last thing on my list of things that I want to talk about is you guys about is one thing that I've been talking about a lot and just haven't followed through with it yet for one reason or another. Some good excuses, not so much. So actually quite a bit of good excuses. I moved. That was a big thing. And because we moved and bought a house, it just has made things a little bit more difficult to get things situated around the house. But anyway, I'm going to be doing some classes this year. So I'm not sure exactly when it's going to start because the actual part of the business side of it isn't quite all figured out yet. But I know that, so I talked with a couple of people, and I think I really wanted to, okay, so this is a lot of information. I really wanted to be able to do classes on my own channel, but I don't think I have the time to put into my blog to get it set up the back end. Let's just be honest. It takes a lot. I know hardly anything about a lot of all this stuff with blogs. I can write on a blog. I can do some stuff, and I probably give myself less credit than I need to, but that's okay. But the thought about getting it all situated with the amount of time that I have kind of makes me, okay. So, which is part of the reason why I haven't done it yet. Right? Because I was trying to figure out a lot of different things. But I think I'm gonna use another blog site to host. If many of you guys know, Victoria Marie uses Thinkific, and I think I'm gonna use that. So I've kind of looked around at some other ones, and that one seems pretty easy to use, and I think that it'll work good for me. So with that said, I have a couple of classes that I know I definitely want to do this year, but it probably won't be until closer to the summer. So classes this year. So I'm hopefully, definitely by the summer, I will have a class launched. I'm thinking 2, but maybe I can get 3 done. I don't know. It just depends on the time thing. Once again. So yeah, like I said, I have some business stuff on the back end that I'm getting situated, and that is my hope to get some classes in. I have a couple of different ideas, which I won't go into right now. Maybe I'll do another video later, just kind of giving you some ideas for some things. But if you have some ideas for classes that you would like to see me do, please put it in the comments below, because I would love to do classes that you guys want to learn about, things that you know that I do that you would like to see me as and you would be willing to pay for. I actually really would like to be able to do some like really mini classes maybe and charge less. So do classes for like $10 or $15 and do it like like closer to what you get at Big Picture, but more information. Because that's the one thing I don't like about Big Picture. So is that sometimes it's just sometimes they're good and sometimes it's just not enough. But so something smaller on a smaller scale, so it doesn't take as long to put together the class, but then also so that you get a good amount of information and you feel like you got your money's worth, but then I can offer more. With that said, I think it's time for me to go. So I will let you guys go, and I hope you guys have a great day and a happy new year. Bye.